What's going on, everyone, and welcome to the Knightsman Channel. What we got today is something very special. We have tips and tricks before you play The Last of Us 2. Now this is super important before you're looking at tackling this game. You kind of need to know some of the things, small things that's going to help you survive this post-apocalyptic world where you have to fend off zombies or zombie looking like creatures like clickers, all that sort of stuff. This is the part 2 in the franchise, so it's a beautiful game. And yeah, no, I honestly strongly recommend just watching all of these little tips just so you can be on point when it comes to this game. So without further ado, I think we're just going to crack straight into it. But remember to hit that like button, subscribe button, bell notification, and definitely comment down below if you're a fan. But apart from that, let's go. Alrighty, so the first tip I have for you today is definitely go back and watch like some, I don't know, videos about what the first game was about the story of it, because when I came to the game I absolutely forgot like things that were in the first game, and then when it came to playing the second, you know, I really had to jog my memory early on. So a big tip is definitely go back, have a little look what the story was in the first game if you haven't played it recently. If you have, then all good, you can kind of roll on to the second one. But I think that's a huge point if you're someone who loves the story and is very story driven. So definitely check out a little bit of footage of the first, just re-update your mind on things, and then that will help you transition into this part 2 game. So for tip number 2, what we have is training manuals. Now these are huge in this element of the game, because it's going to allow you to spend some of the resources that you pick up in the world to upgrade or get better stuff. So at the moment we've got survival here, and we can also go across to the crafting. So these are the 2 magazines I've picked up, and it's a pretty good system where you can really go down and choose what you want to do. I definitely would recommend the endure the survival, because it's huge in terms of surviving if you're really playing on that high difficulty level. There you go, there's just another pickup there, second magazine, as you can beam across. So we've got survival, crafting, and stealth, and then you know you can upgrade silencers. We're gonna build one right now once we get it. So we've just got it there, and then you can scroll all the way down and actually have a good look at what these certain ones bring. But as you can see here, we're crafting silencer, which is huge in this game. We're going to touch on that a little bit later, but we're going to go into a third manual now. There's another little cheeky spot there. As you can see, it's just lying on the ground, and you get this gold little icon. All you have to do is just go on, pick it up, and then go into your HUD and just have a look what one this is. So this is Outdoor Sportsman. So I'm going to open it up, have a little cheeky look, and this one here is, we're going to go across now. There we are, and this one is precision. So same again, stability, accuracy, there's a whole lot of different stuff which these training manuals provide, which I think is key to surviving in this game. Alright, our next tip is just exploring your surroundings. Now this game's very good at having lots of different stuff around certain different places, so don't be afraid to explore. Have a little look at your environment, because you want to pick up as much stuff as you can get to help you craft stuff, to help you kind of survive in this world, because it is brutal out there, my friends, and you want to pick up as much as you can, especially if you're playing on that harder difficulty. It's just, if you're not picking up as much as you can, it's just going to make it harder for yourself, once you're getting through these levels and these harder enemies as you progress. But I definitely recommend, if you're a platinum hunter like myself, definitely have a little look at a collectibles guide, because as you can see here, we've got collectibles coming up, which you won't know unless you're following a guide. So I highly recommend just going on YouTube, having a little look at a guide, and there we are, there's one collectible we're picking up right now. these levels are littered with these collectibles, and if you're chasing for that platinum, I highly recommend you do these collectibles relatively early, because otherwise you're going to be spending another 15 to 20 hours going through the story trying to mop up the ones that you've missed. So I highly recommend doing the collectibles on the first run through at an easier difficulty, and then once you've kind of conquered things and you have to do a half play run anyway to get the trophy, then I recommend going for a harder level and not having to worry about the collectibles. So highly recommend, if you're going for that platinum, then hunt these collectibles. But if you're not and you don't really mind about the platinum trophy, then just play free. As you can see here, we're picking up another cards, and it's just we follow from the very start all the way to the finish with these collectibles. So that's my tip on that. Alright, my next tip is don't be shy if you really need to craft stuff, to just take a second, stop and actually craft what you need. So here we need a health pack, and then we're going to head into the survival upgrades. I'm going to get a survival upgrade as well, which provides that listen mode, and boom, we just popped a cheeky little trophy there, which is awesome. But yeah, I mean, when we're talking about upgrades now, really have a little look through the upgrades after picking up multiple magazines and really see what way you kind of want to play, and that will determine like what route you want to go down in terms of your player upgrades. I strongly do recommend upgrading the survival aspect first, because there's one at the very end. The one at the end, Endure, is such like a vital upgrade that you do need, because it really gets you out of trouble if you're in the hurt locker basically and you get downed. It kind of gives you that little chance of getting back up and running away, which I think is vital if you're playing at a higher difficulty, because it's just going to basically give you a semi another life, if you like to say. So definitely important smacking that first survival tree first before progressing. The next tip is we've got a Molotov right here, which we have just made. As I said before in the guide, don't be afraid to craft stuff, because that's what it's there for, and again, don't be afraid to use it. So as you can see here, we're lacking in resources, so definitely keep looking around for those resources. But as you can see here, we crafted a nice little Molotov, which I think are vital if you're playing on those higher levels to clear large enemies, or enemies that you just are having trouble with, especially like clickers and stuff like that, or those kind of zombie things which explode the spores. They're heavy hitters, so definitely hitting one of them while a Molotov will definitely get you going. So what we have here is we've got pretty much 5 or 6 of these zombie like things, and we're just going to bang one of these Molotovs in here, and you can see how effective it actually is in really getting them all. So there's a couple there. This one's going to come on fire and actually come at me, but as you can see, it's still on fire, so it's it's getting a bit of damage on itself, and then it's just a simple boom, there we go, knife to the head to finish it off. But really, you can see how effective that Molotov is. And then there's a beautiful little safe right there, and that's coming across to another tip is make sure you crack on with all these safes, because they got all the resources you really need and want. So definitely take your time to look online, find the codes, and here's a cheeky little combination here if you're getting to this point in the game. But I definitely recommend taking your time and opening up these safes and getting the contents, because you can see that there's some pretty valuable stuff here. A lot of ammo. We've got an upgrade as well, which we'll put on, which is a belt for the knife, which is a cool little upgrade. Well, it's actually not for the knife, it's for the rifle, I think. Yeah, long gun holster. But as you can see, there's lots of stuff in here that we can pick up, which is pretty cool and useful. Now if you find yourself in the hurt locker, you've just been attacked and you got very little health, not the case here, but really find the time. I'm just going to show you, I'm just going to get attacked quite a bit here. This is easy difficulty, so it's not going to be as hard as what it will be at the high levels. But if you get shot a couple of times, and you need a retreat, do retreat, find a little safe place, and bang up a med kit, and that's going to get you back to full health, ready to go. and then ready to re-engage the enemy, which is quite useful. Don't feel like you have to be trapped and not use it, just find a nice little space. Alright, our next tip is you can actually lie down and get further support when firing a rifle and when you're aiming. So it's a lot more stable if you're just lying on the ground and really get that clear headshot. I just banged off a clicker right there. So I was kind of leaning back, and it was a good little stability if you've got a long rifle, and it really adds to the effect of killing enemies. Now you're going to come across workbenches in the area. So this is just, we've got one here. We need to start a generator which will turn on the lights. So definitely as many workbenches as you can, or that you go through, definitely use, even if you don't need to, because that's going to pop the trophy if you're looking for, you know, a trophy place. If you're looking for the platinum trophy, then you definitely need to you know, bang one of these out. So if you keep going on through each workbench, even if you just upgrade something, or even if you just go into it, then it counts anyway. So if you find yourself in a place where you have to run, then definitely look at running. You don't have to kill all of these you know, zombie looking people, because you just run. If that's the most effective way of getting through a level, especially if you're playing at that higher difficulty, then yeah, just smack on through and try and get to the next checkpoint. But as you can see here, we are running for our life. This is pretty much the start of the game, but you know, this is a little bit different because this is a story driven part. But even if you're in that open world and you find yourself stuck, try even just running through it. I mean, that's going to get you to the end point anyway, because it's such a, you know, story driven, but it's a one-way kind of story. So yeah, don't feel like you have to kill every single zombie. You can just run right past them if you need to. Now, as you can see in the wall here, we have a nice little melee weapon. Again, these are quite important if you look out in the open world, because I feel like, you know, you're not too much overcome with numbers of zombies, so you can definitely utilize that melee weapon if you're picking up. And there's, you know, they're littered throughout the way. You can see we've got another there which we're going to change to a crowbar, but definitely utilize those melee weapons. It's what they're there for, to be used, especially if you're running out of bullets in The Last of Us Part 2, which you will, because sometimes resources will be scarce and you will run out. So definitely look at, you know, changing up. We've got a hammer here we're going to change to, and yeah, just change up, I guess, what you're doing. You can eventually craft melee weapons anyway, change it up, but yeah, just pick a melee weapon that you feel is pretty good. They do like break relatively quickly, but just kind of go with the flow. Alright, another huge aspect of the game is actually dodging. I think dodging, you know, if done well, can be really, you know, utilized. As you can see here, I'm chopping up. I'm getting attacked by two zombies, but it's all good. If you get that dodging, which I'm doing a shocking job of in this video, but it's all good. Once you get it kind of down packed, I'm just showing you how hard it can be, but once you get it down packed, then it's actually pretty good. You can actually melee weapon them pretty effective and just kind of take them out one by one, but just, you know, you just dodge out the way. At the start it should show you indication of when to dodge, and sometimes it does, but other times it's just right before they attack. Just look at, you know, swinging under them and then smacking them with a melee attack. Now you're going to be, you know, you and your buddy are going to be fighting zombies going hard, and sometimes, you know, your buddy's going to need a bit of a hand. You can see that on the right side. Even if you're getting attacked, you know, go across, just give them a little jab. There we go, get them off it and it should be good to go. The zombie's going to be taken out, and then you know, you're back in the fight. And as you can see, you know, these zombies are dropping quite a bit of loot, so make sure you go across and actually pick up that loot, because that resources, you know, you're going to need it later down the track anyway. Oh, we've got a good little machete there that just took out that one zombie, but you know, they're very good partners, you know, when you're traveling in a pair of two. You know, you can then strategize a little bit different than when you're on your own. For me, I'm a run and gun. I'm coming in here hot. You know, if it was a little bit higher level, then you're gonna really have to choose and pick, you know, who you're fighting and whatnot. So, little important tool there. Alrighty, now you can actually die from falling. We've got a little bit of a high ledge here. I'm going to fall down on purpose, and boom, there we go, we died. So a little tip here is if you think it's a little bit too high, then it probably is a little bit too high. So definitely don't try and jump off. However, we're going to try again from a different level, just to show you that you can actually leap off stuff. So we leaped off that very high one there, that platform above. So we're going to jump off this platform. As you can see, you know, boom, it's all good. So you can actually jump off different platforms. Just don't jump too high. Now, another little important tool is if you don't have to fight the enemies, just use the long grass and go around them. So if you're by myself, which I am right now, look, I'm just being smart, you know. If it's a high level, as I'm talking about before, then it's, you know, this is the way to go. But if you're at an easier level, you can probably just smack through them. It should be all good. But as you can see here, I'm using the grass to my advantage. The longer grass you can kneel, and it's very hard to see. The shorter grass, you just need to go into the prone position and come across like I am here. And yeah, I mean, they don't see me. I go around, and I need to enter this building for the story anyway, so it kind of works out. You can see here I've cleared the threat. I'm now going to jump up and kind of start making my way into the story where I avoided all that contact as possible. So I got around to the corner, boom, undetected. Here I'm jumping up and I am clear of that threat, which is perfect. Now you're going to come across bombs, traps in The Last of Us Part 2. Don't do what I'm going to do now and blow myself up. But you can actually, you know, if you see them, you know, coming up, just find a brick, find a bottle, and just chuck it in that vicinity. It's going to set off the wires, and it's going to clear that path. However, you really have to look out because some of them are actually pretty hard to find. But as you can see, you do need to stand, quite far away if you don't want to kind of get pinged by it. So definitely do look at, you know, utilizing the environment of what you got around you. There's plenty of bricks. You can even shoot them if you want, you know, if you want to waste your bullets, or if you got quite a lot of bullets, and you know, don't be afraid to throw it. But as you can see there, it locked on straight away, and I was able to throw it and kind of bang through. But as you can see, there's still multiple traps all the way around. Can kind of, you know, it's all highlighted in that white anyway, so if you do want to release a bullet like I am there, boom, it just clears it like that. So yeah, good little trick. So as we talked about, you know, we're in that longer grass now. We are well hidden now from the enemies. You know, even the clickers, they can't see us, neither can the zombies. So that grass is a vital tool. However, you can, you know, utilize your environment, hide behind the trees, so you can get up around them and, you know, take them out. That's what I like to do. Grab them, take them out for the count. It's using that staff, I think, is quite important in the game as well. Saves resources, and you can see my buddy over there is taking out the other zombie. So if there's going to be two of them, you know, you've got that buddy which will tackle one anyway. So that's a great little tip. You don't have to worry about smacking both of them yourself. Alrighty, if your resources are full, then definitely use resources to kind of be able to pick up more. So if you need to craft something so you can pick up that water, then all good, because you want to keep picking up as much resources if you can. However, if you're maxed out, definitely craft stuff so you can pick up more. Good little tip to push on into that open world environment anyway. Now as you can see here, we are using a distraction here with a brick to try and create, you know, the zombies to come in one area. I think they're two big boys, so we're going to use that brick to kind of show we're in that listening mode so we can really see them through walls. So there you go, we're going to brick them out over there. We've got a Molotov which we're going to use. We cannot stealth kill them, so we're going to use a Molotov there. Boom, there we go, he's on fire now. His buddy's coming, seeing what's going on, and we're just going to headshot them into the kneeling position. Oh, shotgun, boom, that one's dead. So we're going to use our sound now. We can still see that. Oh, the other one's on fire. Takes a couple of bullets to take him down, but eventually we get there, and those things are quite hard to take down. So, you know, just like that, we cleared both of them. So, you know, use your resources to your advantage. So as you've seen in that previous video, you know, we did quite heavily use that sense. In this video you can see we're just sensing them through the wall, which I think again is an important aspect, especially if you've got silencers ready to go. Boom, quite a little good headshot there, and we're good to go. And we're searching again, searching around for, there's one more target to the right there, another in the far distance. So we can't pick up that far person just yet, but you know, use your environment to what you've got. Boom, another good headshot there, and then we're trying for a third one, and then after 3 then the silencer breaks, and then we're banging on without a silencer. So if you're going to use a silencer, then look to replace it. You know, if you've got 4 or 5 enemies, right, and you've only got 3 silencer uses, then you know, use two of the silencer hits, and then look to craft another one, or do one shot to the I don't know, the wall, and then craft another one so you can have 3 shots. So that's going to prevent you from, you know, burning out. Here you can see I'm shocking with the pistol. I've used my 3, then the 4th one eluded you know, the enemy to the side. So definitely use your silencers to your advantage. I think that's going to be an important tool pushing on, especially for those hard missions or hard places when you're on that high difficulty. And my last tip of the game is, you know, there's going to be dogs which are quite annoying in this game because they can pick up your scent. You know, they're going to follow you. So my big tool is either just run away as far as you can while crouching. That's going to obviously they're going to lose their scent, or you can just place a cheeky little mine here, craft a trap mine, place it down, and then just get out of there, which I'm about to do now. So obviously that trail is going to lead right into that bomb, which the dog's going to hit, and then that's boom, that's going to take them out. So that's a good little tool there, because the dogs are quite annoying compared to the humans. If you're looking at just escaping on through and not having or not wanting to engage, you can see here, you know, we get hit, we're lying on the ground, and then it's a good little tool to take them out as well. Because I'm playing at lower levels, I'm not really too worried. You know, even though I get hit a couple of times, it's not like you know, in the difficult levels. So really, you know, use your environment to your advantage. So we've got long grass going on around us. We took out the dog. We've got another dog, I think, which is coming. We used our sensors there to sense where they are, and yeah, we can see that the dog is coming. They charge you quite quickly as well, so that's why I say try and shoot the dogs first, even though, you know, it's a sad thing to say, but in this game you just want them gone, or otherwise just kind of sneak around and then just go hard. But as you can see there, the dogs picked up your scent if you don't move fast enough, and then they just get you. So don't be afraid to, you know, take your time with the game as well. They've got a dodge little icon that comes up, so if you can press the dodge button you can kind of avoid them, but definitely just run away if you're getting, you know, overwhelmed. Just regroup, reload, and then just tackle them again. Again, the dog gets me. They're annoying, these dogs, so definitely look at trying to avoid them, or just take them out first. And then once you take them out first, then you can kind of regroup. You can see here I'm really struggling. Well, I'm allowing myself to struggle, and you know, at this point it's probably the best time that you can look at restarting that checkpoint. So this is a perfect little point here to restart that little checkpoint there. I wasn't doing well, so I just restarted it. It took me to that point. You can see it was only a minute away, and now if you didn't like that at all, you can restart the whole encounter and go back to the start of it, which has brought us right here. And it shows you how far you go back in terms of the minutes, but then again you can plan it different to how it just played out there, which again I think is an important tool pushing on forward if you're on those high levels, just to help you get through, save resources, and really just allow you to do things in different multiple areas. But I think overall, you know, this tips and tricks guide, it's a very one-way story driven game, so there's only a certain tips and tricks that you can employ throughout the game, but I think all of these tips and tricks are going to help you later down the track with resources, conserving them throughout the higher levels, where you really have to be tactical in approaching enemies and getting into that next kind of checkpoint phase. But definitely, if you're pushing on for that platinum trophy, have a look what the trophy entails and start utilizing some of that stuff early on. So that will be the collectibles, it will be the weapon upgrade, all that sort of stuff. So it's a beautiful game. I'm not going to spoil too much here, but just the environment's beautiful, the player, the story. I'm a very story driven person, so I think it's done really well, and I'm very happy with it. But hopefully you've gained a little bit of value out of these tips and tricks. These would have definitely helped me before I started this game, so that's why I was like, let's bang it out there. We're currently playing through. We're going to get the platinum trophy, so we're going to have a video popping up about that. Maybe have a video helping you out into what platinum trophies to have a look at. I think The Last of Us Part 2 is pretty easy, the trophy guide, so it definitely shouldn't have any problems there. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Smack that like button, subscribe button, bell notification if you did. Would love the support for the channel. And yeah, until our next game, which is going to be Ghost of Tsushima. I'm going to try and get in tips and tricks video out on that, hopefully within the week when it releases. So definitely keep an eye out for that. So thank you for watching. Hope you've thoroughly enjoyed this. And yeah, take it easy until the next video. Cha-ching.